Hello, I am Vice Mayor Kevin Hartke, and we're now with Chandler in Focus. My guest today is Katie Kale with the Chandler Care Center. And Katie, we've had the opportunity to collaborate, to work together, to commensurate, to do all sorts of stuff in Chandler, and it's a real pleasure and an honor to have you here on the show today.
Thank you, Kevin.
So start by telling us more about the Chandler Care Center.
Sure. I'm the director of the Chandler Care Center. The Chandler Care Center is a program of the Chandler Unified School District, and we are located in the downtown Chandler area. We serve primarily CUSD children and kids who live in the city of Chandler through a variety of programs. We have a medical clinic and dental clinic that serve uninsured children who don't have access to care in other facilities. We have a food bank that's open year-round. We provide classes for children 0 through 5 through First Things First programming, which focus on early literacy and language skills, as well as parenting skills for their parents. And we partner with several other agencies, including WIC and Southwest Behavioral Health, to meet sort of the holistic needs of our families within our community.
So really, you guys do an excellent job of comprehensively kind of determining what are the needs of our children and their families to make sure that our kids have the best opportunity to be educated and thrive in our community.
We do, yes. And that's really our vision, is to make sure that our kids stay healthy so that they can stay well educated. As part of the school district, really our focus is on ensuring academic success and attendance at school. And we do that through meeting sort of the basic needs of some of our kids within our community who otherwise may struggle to have those needs met.
And speaking of needs, what would you identify as the most pressing needs right now?
So the most pressing needs as we go into the holiday season, we really look at how we can support families who maybe struggle to provide a holiday for their children and for their families. So we do a Thanksgiving distribution every year where we provide food to families in our community who are in need. And then as we go into December, we do a December holiday distribution where we provide toys and gifts to children birth through 18 who live in the city of Chandler. So those are kind of our two areas that we really focus on this time of year.
Katie, one of the things I've appreciated about you is that you are definitely a team player beyond the organizational bent that you do. I mean, you look to see how can you work with others to make sure that whatever we're providing for families and children, it's the best resources and the best working together. So I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So how are you involved with the collection and distribution of gifts and food this year?
That's a great question. So the Chandler Care Center is fortunate to be part of For Our City. And For Our City is really a collaboration of nonprofits, faith-based leaders, and of course the city and the school district. And it focuses on partnering agencies up to meet community needs and really bringing volunteers in and getting volunteers engaged. And so as a member of For Our City, what we do is we really focus on collaborating with other agencies that provide holiday assistance, whether that be for Thanksgiving or any of the holidays in December. And how we do that is we have a couple of meetings where we get together with other agencies such as Ascend, ICANN, the Boys and Girls Club, Matthews Crossing, the Salvation Army, and any other entity basically in the Chandler area that's serving children and families. And we collaborate, we share our lists of who we're collecting food and toys for. We join together for events. For example, this year, for the toy distribution, we will be focusing on providing toys to kids birth through 18 in collaboration with the Chandler Fire Health and Medical Department and ICANN, and potentially working with other entities such as the Salvation Army.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So obviously, this is an opportunity for many in our community, many to both volunteer
Absolutely.
and to make donations towards the cause. And I know every organization has a bit of a pipeline that kind of serves in ways that we can work together. But how can people donate or volunteer with you?
My favorite question. So donations and volunteerism are really key to making our events successful. So there are a couple of ways that our community members can get sort of tied into what's going on in our community. One is the For Our City website, of course, shares that information citywide about all of the entities that are providing services. Another, the Chandler Care Center website, we post updates frequently about how to get involved, as well as on all the social media, Facebook and Twitter and all of those avenues. We really look this time of year for donations for food, and primarily we look for donations of non-perishable items. We do provide holiday food bags in both November and December for families, and those are significant food bags that really provide much more food than we do throughout the rest of the year, in addition to providing whole frozen turkeys to families. And we're fortunate that we have so many donors typically in the city of Chandler, such a generous community, that a lot of our families are able to receive those food bags and a whole frozen turkey in both November and December. So definitely food donations are a need. In addition to that, obviously, as we gear up for December and doing a toy distribution, we look for donations of new unwrapped gifts for children. And we serve birth through 18. So we look for everything from maybe stuffed animals for the babies all the way up to gift cards for some of our older teens who are a little more difficult to shop for.
And tell me about the gift distribution in particular. You had mentioned, again, working with several other organizations.
Right.
So obviously the goal is to see how we can spread out and serve as many of our community as possible, rather than a few families or children receiving a lot of presence because perhaps they're connected with more than one organization. How do
Absolutely.
we work to try to make that happen, to spread out the opportunity to serve more families and children?
So we, as members of For Our City, meet actually regularly every year, and we kind of have a collaboration that works together. All of our programs pre-register families for assistance. And so we do have requirements that families meet, of course, the individual agencies' eligibility guidelines. For most of us, it's a family in need that lives in the city of Chandler. For a few agencies, of course, they expand outside of that service territory. And we meet and we set up guidelines for registration. We have registration dates for our families. And then what we do is we go ahead and share our lists, usually by address and last name of who those families are we're serving, just with each other. That information, of course, we let the families know we're collecting and sharing that information first. But what that has enabled us to do over the years is reduce the number of families each individual agency is serving, because we're not serving the same families as the other agencies. So really, it minimizes that duplication. And the result of that for us, in particular at the Care Center, I know that over the years, we've gone from being able to provide maybe 2 gifts for the holidays to each child to sometimes providing 4 or 5, really depending on what our donations look like and how many families register. So I think what you're seeing is individual families are getting served more deeply. They're really getting more out of those events. We're able to, because we don't have as many people at the events necessarily, we don't have multiple families showing up that are going to multiple agencies and rushing around. We're able to do things like include crafts and fun activities and cookie decorating stations. And it just becomes a little bit more personal. And I think it feels a little bit more community oriented that way, because we're able to sort of minimize the duplication and really serve those families well.
I love that. I know my church, where I have the privilege of pastoring, we pick up many families in Central Chandler. And several years ago, before we were doing the collaboration, I remember having several families, and I called one of our other organizations, Ascend, and said, are any of these families being served by you as well?
Yeah.
And I found out about half of my families that I was planning on picking up presents for were also being served by another family, or by other families through Ascend. So we then, decided to not contribute to those particular families since they were being served, and then were able to pick up another 5 or 7 families that weren't being served by anybody else. And so to those of you who are looking to saying, I'm just looking for a family, I would strongly encourage you to work with CARE or Ascend or Salvation Army or others that are actually sharing their donor list to make sure that we can serve more families and meet greater needs in our community.
Absolutely.
So I've got one last question for you.
Sure.
I know that you, like me, do what you do because you have a worldview and a passion that says, I'm here to serve. And you also are fueled by opportunities of what you've seen and some great stories. So would you like to share just briefly a story that really makes what you do worthwhile to you?
Sure, I would love to.
Interaction with a family? Or...
I would love to. We're very fortunate to have a lot of those stories that we get to share with the community. And sort of the one that jumps to the front of my mind is actually from our holiday distribution last year. And every year we have a certain number of bicycles and scooters and other items that are donated. And what we really do is we know a lot of those families we work with. And so a lot of times we can say, we have a bicycle for a teenage boy, and we know a teenage boy who has an after-school job who really needs it to get to work. So we kind of can give those gifts out where they're really most strongly needed. And last year we got to the end of our event, and realized that we had a bicycle left that hadn't been distributed. I'm not sure if the family didn't show up or what happened with it. And so I asked my staff, I said, can you find me a family with a little boy that needs a bicycle? And so they did. And I went into the building to get the bicycle and I came out with it. And the mom saw the bicycle and just completely lost it, crying and sobbing and hugging me and thanking me. And she told me it was the only thing on her child's list and she never thought she'd be able to get him a bicycle. And so moments like that remind you that there's so much gratitude in our community for what we are able to do to help these families. And it's the little things. I mean, a child's bicycle, you can get them for $35, $40 sometimes on sale. And to some family that donated that, maybe it wasn't a hardship, but to this mother, it meant the world to her and her son. So I think moments like that really sort of encapsulate why we do what we do.
Well, Katie, thank you for your service with CARE
Thank
for our
you.
community and for joining us here on Chandler in Focus. It's been a real privilege to talk to you and be working with you soon with our holiday drives.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kevin.
So we're going to take a brief break, and next we're going to be talking with Salvation Army. Stay tuned.
Hi there, my name is Jennifer and I am a staff member at Matthews Crossing Food Bank. Matthews Crossing Food Bank is an emergency food box program where we provide food to anyone in the city of Chandler who needs it. Truly, we are an emergency food box program because 40% of the people who come to our food bank only receive food once. We are very proud to have wonderful partners in Chandler with the City of Chandler, the Chandler Chamber of Commerce, along with the grocery stores that we pick up from, Bashas', Fry's, Walmart's, who are located in the City of Chandler. We truly are a nonprofit in Chandler serving the residents of Chandler.
One Small Step is a Chandler nonprofit that operates the Clothes Cabin. Our vision is that no person in our service area lacks the clothing they need to lead a healthy, hygienic life, secure employment, fully participate in school, or to be socially acceptable. To achieve that vision, we supply anyone in need with gently used, quality clothing, shoes, and linens. The majority of our clients are Chandler residents, but we are open to anyone. Clothes Cabin and our retail thrift store, Friends Boutique, are completely volunteer run. It takes about 180 to 200 volunteer hours a week to prepare, stock, process donations, and run our client service. Many of our volunteers are Chandler residents, and we would never be able to make the impacts that we do without them. We love our Chandler volunteers. Chandler is a great place to live, donate, and volunteer.
My name is Kohop Gebret, and I'm the volunteer coordinator at Ascend, formerly Chandler Christian Community Center. We have been a local nonprofit since 1966 in the Chandler area, and we are also known as the Chandler Food Bank. We have also adopted 4 other core programs since then. We have our iHelp program, which helps homeless individuals 7 nights a week. We have our early literacy program through our Family Resource Center that helps with children 0 to 5. We have our senior center in Chandler that also helps with meal programs and different activities for participants. We also help Chandler residents for rent and utility assistance. For more information, please visit us at ascend.org, AZCEND, for volunteer opportunities and different assistance through our programs at our organization.
Well, welcome back to Chandler in Focus. I'm Vice Mayor Kevin Hartke, and on this segment of the show, I have Jeff Williams, who is with Salvation Army. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you.
We're so glad that you were appointed to come to Chandler, Arizona, and to be part of the great things that are going on in our community. So tell us a little bit about your history and your appointment to Chandler.
Well, I've been with the Salvation Army for a long time, since I was a child, but I have been a minister for the Salvation Army for about 5 years now, and was relocated here just at the end of June this year.
So you've been here since the end of June. I remember we went out for lunch with you and your wife at Wimpy's, and
Yes.
That was kind of a fun day. So obviously the focus on our show is holiday giving, and it's hard to disassociate Salvation Army from holiday giving, although you guys are known for relief efforts and for Christian service and many, many other things other than the holidays. But I think many people think about Salvation Army and bell ringers and so many other great things that you guys do, as well as your Christmas Angel program. So tell us about the opportunities that people have for giving during the holidays.
Oh, you're right. There's a lot of things that people can do to get involved. We have like you said, the red kettles out in front of all the store locations. Families can get involved and volunteer there, or corporations or groups can get together and take on one of those sites. We also have our Christmas Angel program at the Chandler Fashion Center this year, and we'll be partnering with Channel 3 once again, and we're very excited about that. We have lots of families that have signed up already, and we're looking forward to some of those opportunities for people to get involved.
So this is a good preparation for you to be on Channel 3.
Absolutely.
We're going to go, we'll launch your career. So how many people does Salvation Army in Chandler serve over the holidays?
You know, on average, we see about 1,200 families come through and get a food box every single month. And during Christmas time, we ramp up, and we're really looking to help as many families as we can. And I know that right now we have just over 600 children signed up for our Christmas program. And I believe that's around 217 families. We still have opportunities November 1st and 2nd from 9 to 5 for families to come in and sign up for assistance. Mm-hmm. And so if somebody has not made it out yet, it's a great opportunity for them. Yeah.
So there's opportunities that people have had already to sign up, and you're going to be serving many families and many children this year, which is incredible. So what are the other needs that people would like to contribute or help meet those needs that you see during the holidays? How can people get involved?
People can get involved in a few different ways. You know, always monetary donations, hitting, dropping $1 in that kettle really goes a long way. We have great buying power with some of our partners. And so when people donate $1, we can stretch that out and really make it more like $5. It's amazing, some of the partners that we have. People can go online and sign up on our website to volunteer at the holiday Christmas Angel Tree or at one of our kettle locations. We will be packing all those toys, building food boxes. Yeah, just lots of ways for people to get involved.
I remember last year I joined with others and helped pack some of the food boxes. I think there was a location of a vacant place at Chandler Fashion Mall. So I hopefully look forward to doing the same this year. So tell me about what are some of the locations where people can either drop off where you'll have your red kettles or in the fashion mall, etc. What are the locations and what are some of the deadlines for people to get involved?
Yeah, we have the Chandler Fashion Center is our largest main location for the Christmas holiday gift program. And we also will have our gift wrapping there again this year. And so folks can get their gifts wrapped, probably not by me. I'm not very good at it. But people can come out and donate and be a part of that at the Fashion Center. I know that starts on the 16th and goes till the 20th, and we'll actually be doing the gift wrap till the 24th, Christmas Eve.
So 16th to the 24th of December.
Yes.
Very good.
The bell ringers, we have partnered with Walmart, Fry's, Bash's, Hobby Lobby, and a few other locations. You'll see us all throughout town. We'll be in Chandler and Gilbert and some of the Sun Lake areas this year. And so people can just stop by and donate, or they can get online, like I said, and volunteer.
So I have a friend who has been a client, has worked with iHelp, Interfaith Homeless Emergency Lodging Program. He's homeless. And he was just telling me a couple days ago about how excited he was to serve as a bell ringer last year. And it gave him a sense of purpose and value. And he described one story where as he was ringing his bell, someone said, "You need a bigger bell," and gave him a larger bell and said, "Every time I see you ringing this, if I come by, I'm going to give you a $20 bill to put in the bucket." So he did, and he saw the gentleman several times, and it really made his day in making him feel valuable for this thing. So I imagine you hear a lot of great stories during the holidays of people giving and people serving. So do you have a story you'd like to tell us?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's amazing just how many people we can reach in just one season. And we were approached by a couple of youth at Bashas High School who had been affected by a toy program like ours and wanted to give back. And so this year, there's a couple of teens, and we're going to be working with them to pick out a couple of angels and buy gifts for them. And it was really neat to hear their story and listen to what they were feeling at the time and how the Salvation Army was able to come alongside them and help them and their family in a time of need. And so, it's very gratifying work.
Mm-hmm. So Jeff, I know we spoke with Katie a few minutes ago, and we had talked about just working together in collaboration in Chandler. So how does Salvation Army work with other organizations in Chandler, or what are some of your hopes to see as you're still fairly new here in Chandler?
Yeah, no, it's been a very positive experience. I enjoy the collaboration and the partnership. It's more like a family here with the city of Chandler, and how everybody comes together. And we are really looking forward to partnering with CARE and some of the other organizations. Our program goes 0 to 12, and we know that there are some kids that, may miss out if their little brother or little sister is able to be helped. And so we're going to be partnering with those groups. We've identified youth through our signups when we meet the families. And so we're going to be partnering with some of the other agencies to make sure that all of our children are served in our community that sign up. So,
well, thank you. We're excited to see that. So again, you could use some help if people would like to make toy donations, and they can do that at Chandler Fashion Center by picking up a family, a child off the Christmas Angel program there. You could use volunteers for helping either gift wrap and or prepare meals for your stuff, and you'll have a location that you'll be letting us know. That'll also flash on our screen here, as well as just donations of cash so that you can also feel the needs. Are there anything other ways that our community can engage with Salvation Army during the holidays that you could think of?
I think we've covered most everything. We will be having a Thanksgiving meal at the Civic Center on the 23rd of November, and that's from 10 to 1, and it's open to the public, and we plan to serve about 500 individuals.
Oh, that'll be fantastic. Well, is there any other things you'd like to share with us in our program today?
No, thank you very much for having us out, and we look forward to what comes next this season.
Great. Well, this wraps up another show. Want to give a big thank you to Jeff and to Katie for joining us to talk about Christmas giving and opportunities this year and ways to make this holiday meaningful and impactful, not just for our friends and families, but for those who don't have the opportunities or perhaps the discretionary wealth that we do. So thank you again for all the work that you guys do. Once again, I'm Kevin Hartke, and this is Chandler in Focus.